right side of the check for your payroll check, it is not valid. I would like to say that's why I was angry. Because they took 2 days out of my check, and I needed those 2 days, I would like to tell you that's why I did it. February 14th, 1999. I had just been fired. I was...
I've been fired too, I understand.
As soon as I get back to my phone, I'm blocking, deleting you. Ugh, I thought we were cool. And I got fired via the phone. I was headed in, I was athletic director at Perspectives Charter School. And the administrator called me and said, Mr. Gordon, you won't need to come in today. It was snowing outside, so I said, oh, okay, why? You know, you're keeping the kids at home? You're not, what's, she said, no, we're terminating you. And I said, why? Well, we don't feel that you're living up to the responsibilities that you've been given. I said, gee, I'm paying for things out of my pocket, I'm staying later than what's called for in my contract, what am I not doing? Well, we felt you could have done more. And I handled it with as much class as I could. I simply told him, fuck you, and hung up the phone. I could have said more. I'm black, you know, we got still cursing people out. That's one of the stereotypes that's actually true. You can run that shit off. Am I right, Elizabeth? You know what's funny, cool about tonight? Quick sidebar. It's so cool. There's another black person inside the room storytelling. Because usually when I go here, it's just y'all and me. Billy Sullivan might get mad and they're like, oh my God, get him! And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry. I went to college, don't do me like that, no. Anyways, my check had arrived. And the letter, we've deducted 2 days from your check because you weren't there. I could have sworn I was there. And it wasn't signed. I tried to cash it anyway, thinking it wasn't a big deal, but when I went to my bank, they said, no, they need to sign this. When I called the school to get them to sign this or issue me another check, they wouldn't return any of my calls. I needed my money. A friend of mine was very adept at the computer. And she says, hey, who made this check? I said, you know, they used to make them in the administrative office. I've never seen that done before. I always imagined checks came from a bank and came to you, but they made them. I remember because I had to pay a referee, and she said, hold on a minute. And she went to the computer and printed it right out. And I said, hey, they made them. And she said, let me see. And she looked up. There was something called VersaCheck. And she said, they have that at Office Max. It was $295. And it had the disc and it had checks. And I went and I purchased it and came back with my friend, and for hours and hours, we played around with the computer until finally we duplicated the check perfectly. But instead of the $398.97, whatever many cents it was, on the check, it now said $3,398.97. And the signature from a previous check was simple. It was a loop, and then an across, and then an up. So I kept practicing the loop, the across, and the up. The loop, and across, and up. The loop, and across until it was perfect. I did it. And I let it sit overnight. I just kept looking at the check, and my friend said, well, you were able to do it, so that's it. And I said, sure, that's it. Until I took the check to a local currency exchange. Well, they knew me. And I said, here, I want to cash my check. They said, this is a pretty big check. It's bigger than what you normally have done. I said, yeah, this is a bonus that I got. They used to have a thing before they got digitalized where the currency exchange, you had to have cashed the check there previously. Otherwise, they wouldn't. So she had to call another currency exchange where I told her I cashed the check at. They don't recollect. And then she called another one, she verified, and she cashed it out. $3,390, because of course the currency exchange takes out. I slid her a 50 for doing it. But just in case it came back on me, it would look like she was involved with it as well. tell it's a criminal tale. It's nothing to do with it. So they're, oh my God, why did you do that? Yeah. So I figured it was done. You know, I'd done it, I got it back, yes. And I can tell you that I did it because they took 2 days out of my check, but because they didn't sign the check, it didn't end there. I made another check. $1,247 went back to the same cashier. Ching ching. I made another check. And another check. And another check. It was easy. And then I started to go to other currency exchanges. It was easy because the blue paper was exactly as the check that they didn't sign. The signature, the circle, the cross, and the up and down was the same as the signature as what was supposed to have been on the check. And I rationalized this by saying, had they not taken the 2 days out of my check, had they signed my check in the first place, I would have done it so they're getting what they deserve. $38,000 later. I've begun to figure out that checks coming from certain banks have round numbers. They have certain sequential account numbers. And this is the part they don't tell you. The account numbers, the 3 in the middle, come from certain regions of the United States. So for example, if you have a 0 and you have an odd and an even number, more than likely, that's the East Coast. Reverse of what I just said, that's the West Coast. If it's 2 zeros and then a number, it's everything in the Midwest. And I started to juxtapose those numbers. So by the time they would go through the system, they would automatically clear whatever, bounce wherever, and come back. No problem. By the time it was insufficient, it was at least 14 days later. $62,000 in. I walked into a currency exchange, one I hadn't done before, with a check. It's only like $898. She said, hold on a minute, and she went to the back. If you ever watch a movie or TV show, and the cashier says one moment and leaves where you're at, nothing good is going to come from that. I sat there, and just as I was getting ready to turn to leave, a police officer walks right in. Now, being black has its privileges, so one of the things that you're able to do if you're black, you can always pull a racist card. You can always say something happened because of race. So the cop comes in, he has no idea what's going on. I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? What's happening? I've got fidgety. He says, hey, what's your problem, buddy? You cool? I said, why are you saying that to me? Because I'm black. I can't be cashing a check or something. And immediately he backed off. Wait, no. I'm just in here asking. It's cool. Be cool. The cashier comes back and asks him, hey, are you here for this? He said, no, I was just making a thing. As soon as she turned away, I was out of there. I would like to tell you that I got caught. It didn't happen. I would like to tell you that I stopped. It didn't happen. I told myself that the reason I made these checks, I took this $178,000, was because they took 2 days off my check and they didn't sign it. But no, the money was easy and I enjoyed it. And that's why I did it. Thank you.